Hello and welcome to Colred Plays Raid Shadow Legends. I am Colred. Thank you for joining me. In today's video, we are going to be pulling some Prism Shards. Now, Prism Shards aren't something that we pull here very frequently because as free-to-play players, we don't get that many Prism Shards. But this current Prism Shard event has actually been relatively friendly. And so we're going to be pulling shards on 3 accounts, both my main account and my Noob vs. Pro account, and then my editor's son's Noob vs. Pro account as well. I have no idea what's going to happen, but we've got a cool pool of champions for the Prism Shard pull. So we're going to hope for some excitement here. Stick around, see what happens. All right, so here is the Nightmare Summon pool, and you can see it's actually got a lot of really good champions. But I think the big thing to note about this, obviously it's a Halloween theme pool, is that the summoning chances are actually pretty friendly with the number of shards that you need. So it's only 20 shards a pull. You've got a 3% chance for a legendary, a 37% chance for an epic. So this is actually better than a 2x ancient shard event. And a 2x ancient shard event only gives you a 1% chance of a legendary. And even the epic chances here are elevated. So normally on a 2x event, you would have, I believe, a 16% chance of getting an epic. So we have a very good chance here of getting a legendary or an epic. Now, the reason I said that this event is relatively friendly is because of the way we've been able to get the Prism Shards for this event. So if we go over here to the tournament page, there is the current Fire Knight Turn Attack tournament for the Halloween Titan event. Now, this is faction specific, but there are 4 factions, all of the Halloween factions, the Demon Spawn, Undead Hordes, Dark Elves, and Knights Revenant. And as you can see, we have 50 quartz here, which would be equal to 2.5 pulls. And this is a relatively friendly number of points that you need in this tournament to go ahead and get these Prism Shards. Additionally, most of us are doing this already for the Halloween Titan event. You're going to need at least the 1,750 points to go and get the Halloween points for the Sun Wukong Souls in the Halloween Titan event. And then additionally, there's even a Primal Shard up there before you get the Prism Quartz. So here you can get 2.5 pulls, and then we can get 10 quartz from another source. So this is the Fusion warm-up event for the upcoming Halloween Fusion. And this is one of the friendliest events in the game. And so you can just travel along this path, get your 10 Prism Crystals. I've been calling them quartz, whatever they are. The Prism Crystals here, you can get 10. So between the 10 Prism Crystals here and the 50 from the Fire Knight tournament, we're all going to get 60 Prism Crystals. That should equal 3 pulls each. And that is the friendliest, absolute friendliest that we've seen these Prism Crystals be since they're released this past summer. Now, as you can see, I am still collecting my Prism Shards, but my editor's son has already got his collected. So we're going to do his pulls now, and then we'll do my pulls later on when I get them on my other 2 accounts. So let me just bring in Son here. And there he is. How you doing, Son?
How's it going, everybody?
All right. So you've got your 60 shards here.
We do, yeah. That was like you said in the intro, very friendly of Plarium on this one. 50 on the turn attack, 10 on the Timothy the Fool Fusion starter like preview event. I was not expecting it, but it's definitely welcome.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna complain.
And we're in a position, both of us are in a position on our Noob versus Pro accounts where these champions could really help us out.
Yeah, big time.
So let me ask you, looking at the summon pool, are there any particular champions that you've got your eye on, or is there any particular role that you're hoping to fill in your roster?
That is a good question. So I did actually take a look at quite a few of the champions earlier. Of course, legendary wise, and I've got, I believe, Hefrak, Wither, Bad Alcazar. I've got Mashalad in here. All of those would just be really cool to have. Be really exciting. As far as what's really going to be a big difference maker on my account, I don't know right off the top of my head where exactly I'm going to find that. Again, I'm really looking for like a big tank, maybe some ally protect, some really strong defensive. So, if I pull something along those lines, that'll be fantastic as well. But yeah, we've got the Rector Drath and then all kinds of really cool pulls in here. Seeker. So yeah, there's a lot of good opportunity.
Yeah, I think, looking at the legendaries, the 2 that I'm looking at for your account that I think would be phenomenal is you don't really have a cleanser, and you don't really have that big, hard carry support, and both Wither and Bad Alcazar can do that. I think Mashalad would also be great. Obviously, all of these legendaries are actually pretty solid. The epics, I think, Rector Drath and Miscreated Monster could really help you out. Miscreated Monster is great. He's got an AoE stun. He's got ally protect. He's got a shield. He's got a stun on his A1. Seeker is just a great all-around champion, so that's always a good champion. But there are some other champions that, like, if you don't hit on one of those things, you can always get another thing that you need. And I think maybe the most important specialist in this pool is actually Allure. So anybody who pulls Allure from this event, you've got a winner. You can definitely build one, if not two Allures. Basically, at any point in your roster, she's going to be valuable. She's absolutely god tier in Fire Knight, but she's also great against pretty much every boss in the game other than like the clan boss and the Hydra boss. So like all of the Doom Tower bosses, any boss that can have turn meter reduced, she is a champion that you want to have. And then obviously, you know, Seeker is another all around just fantastic champion. You get him and you build him to 6 stars. And, you know, even if you don't have a clan boss speed tune available yet, like he will become part of a clan boss unkillable composition for you at some point. But he just gives you so much right out of the gate. He just speeds up your entire roster. So, but I mean, Gorgrab's great. There's so many good champions here. So I'm excited. I'm hoping you hit on something. We already talked about how I hit on sort of a weird void Lego, you know, we did record that. So we're making sure we record these pulls now just to see what happens. But yeah, I'm hoping this is exciting. You still haven't pulled your first legendary. So maybe these friendly Prism shards will be an opportunity.
It could be. It could be. So yeah, if you're ready, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, I know you've been waiting. All right. I thank you for your patience. As soon as you're ready, go ahead.
All right, let's give it a shot. Let's see what happens.
Rainbow shards are cool. Got a rare.
We got a long sword.
Now, do you have a copy of him from the fusion?
I do, and I pulled a couple extra duplicates of him as well. So
yeah, he's a very good rare, but I thought you already had a copy, so not a huge win there. But somebody else who pulls this guy, he's definitely worth building for faction groups.
Yeah, he's definitely solid.
Come on, let's get it.
All right,
here we go. Here we go.
We got it. Oh,
yeah,
there we go.
That's what you needed. That's exactly what you needed.
I'll take that.
AoE stun,
nice.
Ally protect, shield, really good champion. This is an old school Halloween champion. Such a good champion.
Oh man, so I've come across this guy before, and every time I do, he's an absolute nightmare. So having him on the squad is going to be very nice.
Yeah, so that A3 gives you an ally protect for 3 turns. It's on a 4-turn cooldown. So that's a lot of uptime on the ally protect. And it also gives him a heal and continuous heals to keep him alive. So it's got some built-in sustain. Now, the difficulty with every ally protection champion is that they start taking damage that other people are taking. So you need to find a way to make them very tanky and keep them alive. But really, you need an ally protect on your clan boss team. And this potentially, for at least the time being, can be that solution. But he's also great in wave content because that A2 is an AoE that has a 50% chance of stunning everybody. And then it places a shield on everybody. So it really helps you in wave content. It's going to help you in Doom Tower. Such a good
see him and my Sylar in the stun set just having some fun running it down.
Yeah. And he's even got this like extra chance to get a stun on his A1. It is a 2-hitter. So you can use him in places like Fire Knight because he'll still help you break the shield. And then he's got this chance of placing the decreased defense if the stun debuff is placed on his A1, which doesn't happen that often, and it's a single target thing, and it can't happen against bosses. So that's like the weakest addition to his kit. I almost play him when I run him as if that decreased defense didn't exist. But then he does have this extra mechanic, which is actually really good in Arena, which is his passive. If you check out his passive. Places a fear debuff on the attacker for 1 turn. Whenever an ally is attacked while under ally protection buff. This is 100% placement, and it can't weak hit. So really good on arena teams, really good in wave content. He's an absolute machine in faction crypts. And you're getting him at almost the perfect moment, because there are times when I've gotten Miscreated Monster on an account and it's kind of been too late for me to get a lot of value out of him, and so I just run
I can
him.
see that.
I just run him up to 5 stars for faction crypts. But this could be your next 6-star.
Yeah, I could definitely see it.
That's awesome.
All right. Okay, so there's one good pull.
Yeah,
Well, we've got one more here.
let's get one
Let's
more.
give it another shot.
Let's get one more.
Another Mystic Hand. I had a feeling I would see this guy.
Well, I tell you what, on 3 pulls, you had a 20% chance of missing. You had a 20% chance of just getting all rares. So, like, you were likely to hit at least an epic, and you did. And I'm glad that you hit a good one who's going to help your account, because that Ally Protect and that shield is like, you're going to be able to use them in so many places. This is really going to be an all around kind of carry for you. You got your first real tank. You got your first real tank.
Go.
Yeah.
I didn't 6-star purposely. Another champion. I've got all my food ready and waiting to go. Because I was curious if I was going to hit something on these polls, and I think he's going to be the next 6-star.
That's fantastic. All right, so now we've got to do polls for my 2 accounts, but I still got to go get the shards. So we'll put this in the storage for a minute, and then I'll go finish those today, and then we should be able to film the rest of the shard polls tomorrow. All right, so we are back. Took a couple of days, but we're back. Welcome back, son.
Oh yeah, I'm excited, man. Doing some more polls. It's always a good time.
Yeah. So it took a couple of days because there were, like, I got my Prism shards yesterday, but there was, let's see, there's a Summon Rush tournament. I'm sorry, a Summon Rush event that's going on right now with the fusion. And so I just thought I would hold my shards to see if the shards would be included in this Summon Rush, because as far as I understand, or I can remember, this is the first time a Summon Rush has happened, at least one that I've paid attention to, while a Prism shard event was happening.
Yeah.
And they're not on the list. So pulling a Prism shard doesn't give you any points during a Summon Rush, probably. I mean, at this point, I didn't expect it, but I was kind of hoping. I was kind of hoping that there would be some extra points there. So it's just the 5 shards, shard types that we typically have. So it feels like, these Prism shards are really outside of the normal world of shard pulling, right? The rates are different every time. The number of Prism shards you need is different every time. You only get them during the events when it's ongoing. And then they have this special pool. And this pool feels pretty good to me. And when you pulled, you hit on a very good champion. What have you been doing with Miscreated Monster since you pulled him?
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much ran him straight up the 6-star same day. He's currently leveling. He's got some middling gear on currently, but yeah, I'm just getting up to 60 as quickly as I can and start running him everywhere.
All right, cool. Now I'm going to take a quick look at the pool. So for me on this account, it's really interesting because I'm actually in a pretty good spot. And what I really need, probably the thing that I need most, is a dedicated arena nuker that would really help me progress in arena. So obviously we've got Hefrak here, who is an absolute god in the arena. And then in addition, there's also Magnar as an epic, who is an extremely strong arena nuker as well. So either of those would be very good for me. But then there are also champions here who are just like great on every account. So we have Seeker and Allure. You always want a copy of each of those, at least one copy on your account. And it doesn't really matter when you get them, because as soon as you get them, you're like, oh, now I've got one of those pieces that's just key to getting into the late game, So I would be happy with either one of those. And then there's also Rector Drath, who's just a phenomenal healer and damage mitigator and single target revive. So she's really, really strong. Husk is great for Hydra. We already talked about all of these. But for my account, basically any of the epics would be fine. There are a couple of fusion champions here. Aishma is part of the Lady Mikage fusion, so she would be a win. And then down here in the rares, Emerantine skeleton, obviously you're going to get one of him at some point along the line. So it's not like I'm rushing to try to fill that spot, but he is part of the Lady Mikage fusion as well. All right, so we've got 3 pulls here. Then we're going to go to my main account. We're going to pull the 3 Prism shards on my main account. And then I'm going to pull some Sacred Shards because we waited long enough that the fusion events come around. And now I have to pull Sacred Shards for the Summon Rush. So we've got a lot of pulls going on today. You ready for it?
Exciting times. I'm ready.
Okay.
Let's see what we get.
All right. So here we've got 3 pulls here. Let's see what we get. 3% for a legendary. We got a rare. We got a great rare. We got the best rare in the bunch, but it's a rare I'm already running. She is my clan boss damage dealer already. So yeah, fantastic poisoner. Unfortunately, don't have any use for a duplicate. All right, 2 more pulls. Oh, that would have been smart. I could have made space here. Let me go make some space real quick. Let's see purple. Let's see purple. Come on. Nope, another rare.
Yep. There's the longsword.
Longsword. But let's see. Okay, we've got 1 more pull. And we hit on anything. Come on, 37% chance of an epic here. Yes, we hit on an epic. And we got Rector Draft. Nice. That's a nice pull. Man, all right. The interesting thing is because I have Runekeeper Dazzdirk and I have Doom Priest and I have, Demarsha, what's her name? Jamarsa. Thank you. Jamarsa. I'm not like desperately in need of a another healer, but she is a fantastic healer and she's going to be very helpful in Hydra Clan Boss because of this perfect veil. So yeah, you never go wrong with this champion. She could definitely be my healer in dungeons. And one of the things that I noticed this morning, I was running up through Doom Tower and I was fighting the Griffin, and Runekeeper Dazzler can get you in trouble with the Griffin because of the turn meter fill and the extra buffs. So she can just literally be a healer, and help mitigate. She still gives you the perfect veils, which can be a little bit tricky, but yeah, great champion. All right, I'm pretty happy about that. That's a good pull.
Yeah, it's a solid pull.
Yeah, no arena nuker, but good champion.
It's interesting because we're almost kind of having opposing pulls here where I'm getting nothing but DPS, so you're just getting a whole ton of support.
Yeah, I don't really have any other damage dealers other than my starter and Wukong, and then I got my Frozen Banshee as but she's a poisoner, so she's not really like an all-around damage dealer. She's good against bosses, but not against waves. But yeah, I mean, I'm very happy with that pull. But you're right, it is filling or it's like duplicating a role that I've already got pretty well covered at the moment. But I'm never going to complain about a Rector Draft. I'll find a use for her. Absolutely.
For sure.
Maybe not instantly, like Miscreated Monster became your next 6-star. She won't be my next 6-star. I'm still running up Cold Heart. She's going to be my next 6-star. And then I'll have to, consider what happens down the line. In a week, we've got 2x Sacred Shard event anyway. So we've got an opportunity there to get something. All right, so let me go ahead and switch accounts. I'll pull my main account out and we'll do some more pulls. All right, so here we are on my main account. Now, my main account doesn't need a whole lot, but I have decided to go for the Timid the Fool fusion. And so I need at least 3,000 points here. Now, the crazy thing about this is there are these 3 legendary tomes, and we all know that I need legendary tomes desperately. But this would be we'd be talking about 12 to 13 Sacred Shards here. We've got a 2x event next weekend with the Champion Chase that's also happening that weekend. Now, I do have a number of Sacred Shards. So if we go here, you can see I'm sitting on 23 Sacred Shards. And potentially I could get, maybe 1 or 2 more, maybe 3 more by next weekend. But I try to sit on these shards for 2 reasons. 1 is for a fusion like we've got going on, and then 2 is for a guaranteed champion event in case they ever make like Duchess a guaranteed champion or Kymar a guaranteed champion again or something. So I have to decide. I may want to end up pulling ancient shards because I don't really care about ancient shards on this account very much. And so I could do that to go after the points. But I think for today's video, I'm probably going to pull at least 4 or 6 Sacred Shards. I just haven't decided yet. But we're going to start actually with the Prism Shards. Now here on this account, I already have Wither and I have Calvalax, but I don't have any of these other legendaries. So if I hit a legendary, I have a pretty good chance of getting a new champion for this account, which would be great. As far as the epics are concerned, I have every single epic here. So I think the only win here would really maybe be a second allure, which could be fun. And then I don't think I need any of the rares. Let's see if I need any of these rares for the Lady Mikage fusion. I do not. So
That's wild. The one rare that you're missing is the only one that I have on my account.
yeah, it's this guy,
Trugor.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, I've probably pulled him a dozen times, but I just use him as food. So they just happen to make him a fusion champ. I'm sure I'll pull him along the way. Again, I might be pulling ancient shards, so maybe I'll get him along the way on some ancient shards. But I'm probably going to wait until the end of the weekend to decide, or the end of the summon rush to decide if I'm going to try to get more points there and go for some of those books. But all right, so let's start with these 3 Prism shards. I'm kind of excited here because I don't know. I feel like maybe I could get my Bad Alcazar or my Mashalad or something here. This would be fun. Maybe. You never know. All right, an epic.
Oh.
Crimson Helm, not a bad epic, but not something I need on this account. I have all of the epics in the pool. And a rare. Temptress.
Last shot.
Ah, well. And a back-to-back Temptress. All right. Well, that feels fine to me. These are 3 free pulls we basically got this weekend. Or this week. It wasn't even this weekend. And extra pulls is always great. I don't mind free pulls. I'm a free-to-play player. So I've got 3 more chickens, basically, Now, there are some 10 times events going on right now with the Sacreds. So we'll try to get those into sight so people can see them. So from the Sacreds, I could pull a Mighty Uko or a Pythion. Those were both past fusions, and I do own them both. I don't know that I would necessarily use a second one. And then the epics are all of these champions are pretty good, but I'm not pulling Void Shards. So I don't really have a chance at the 2 Void champions here, which is funny because that's the Void champion that I just pulled on my free-to-play account, my new versus pro account, Raka there, I think. Is that who that is? Yeah, it's Raka. And this is the champion I literally just pulled, and I don't think she's particularly good. And then this other Void legendary is the new one that just got released, Bellatar Mage Slayer, and I don't think he's good either. So I don't think anybody should be pulling Void Shards for these champions this event. They're not good Void legendaries. Now, if you need the particular thing that they do, that's fine. I understand, but I just don't think they qualify as true Void legendaries. So, okay. But let's go ahead. We're probably going to pull at least, well, we know we're pulling 4. So let's just start there. I have space. Okay. This time I have space. Let's see. All right. First one's an epic. Vrask is a nice epic. Wouldn't mind him on my free account or my noob versus pro account. All my accounts are free to play. Not maybe the best healer in the world, but definitely a legitimate healer, even though he does it through attacking. All right, let's go ahead and pull a second one here. Another epic. Fargon, decent epic.
That guy looks familiar.
Yeah, we both pulled him recently, right?
Yep.
Let's keep going. Oh, another epic. That one delayed a little while. Now, this guy is a good epic, Hoskarul. I do have a copy of him. I haven't built him out, I don't think, on this account. I've built him out on other accounts previously. And he has an A2 that is an AoE and has a 75% chance of placing a stun debuff for 1 turn, and then decreases the turn meter of enemies under stun debuffs by 15%. So this is really good. He's also like immune to stuns, and his whole kit is based around stuns. He can increase defense and increase resistance on allies, and he can remove stuns. So pretty good all around. Epic, very good for wave content. Okay, so I think we need to pull at least one more here. Let's go ahead and see. There it is.
Oh.
Valkyrie.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Nice.
I got my Valkyrie not really early in my count, but maybe like 6 months in, maybe 8 months in, somewhere around there. And no, it must have been a little bit later than that. Maybe 9 or 10 months. But this is a phenomenal legendary. So her A1 attacks 2 times, and it decreases turn meter if the target has any buffs, which can actually be really useful in places like Arena. And then her A2 is the big skill. So this attacks all enemies, places a shield buff on all allies for 3 turns on a 3-turn cooldown, and a counterattack on all allies for 2 turns. And the value of the shield and the damage inflicted are proportional to this champion's defense. So she's a defense-based champion. You can pump her defense really hard, and this skill hits really hard. So it will definitely kill enemies. But then you've got this huge shield. You've got the counterattack. When she counterattacks, she's got the chance of reducing turn meter. It's really great. Then she also has this passive, which is especially powerful in Arena on like a go second team. This champion's turn meter will be increased by 10% each time an enemy champion places a buff. So every time they place a buff, you get 10% turn meter. And then enemy champions will have their turn meters decreased by 10% for each buff they receive. So when they get buffed, they actually go backwards. I do believe this requires accuracy, but I'm not 100% sure of that. We should actually double check that. But obviously, she needs accuracy to decrease the turn meter on the A1 anyway. So really cool kit, and she can be one of those champions who can cut into an Arena go first team. So if you're up against a go first team and she's on defense, or if you're just taking in a go second team when you're on offense, she can cut into that line, and then you can get that counterattack up and that shield up and then use their attacks against them. Very powerful. All right, so now the question... Yeah, very good pull. So now the question becomes, what do I keep? Do I keep going here? So 2 more pulls will get me all the way to the second batch of Timid Fragment. I think I just got to do that because the Halloween points are right there. I'm probably going to go for those Halloween points. You know what? Let's just keep pulling. I need books. I need Halloween points. I need everything. Let's just keep pulling. All right. Let's see if we can get another. So we've reset the mercy counter. Ultimate Gaelic. He's a AoE HP burner. Not bad. All right, so that's 2. We know where the mercy counter is. We know we're far away from the mercy counter. All right. Mr. Dathi, really good epic. Gets a lot of extra turns. I think I'm just going. I'm just going to go get all those books, I think. Woad Painted. Corpse Collector. Not even an interesting epics right now. Nagorio. He may be new for my account. I actually don't know. I don't know if I have that champion. Aothar is a good clan boss poisoner. Let me see where I stand on the points because I've kind of lost track. I'll probably pull one more pull, stop here, and then get the rest with like mystery shards and maybe ancient shards at the end if I have to. But so that'll be 3 legendary tomes, which is a significant investment for me. Like I need those legendary tomes desperately. So one last pull.
All right, one more.
Let's see if we can get something.
Let's see it.
Nope. But that's all right. Still, it's funny because as you progress your account, there are fewer and fewer champions out there that you can put. Like the pool of available new champions that can change your account shrinks and shrinks.
Yeah.
I got a really great pull today in Valkyrie. I mean, most people, if you don't have Valkyrie, like if you pull Valkyrie at any point, doesn't matter when you pull her. Now all of a sudden you've got probably the best, counterattack champion in the game. You could argue Martyr, but I think that Valkyrie is probably the stronger of the 2. But because I have her, it's like I pulled her and I'm like, yeah, that's a great pull. And I want to be super excited about it, but I'm like, I don't even know what to do with this champion now. So, going on 2.5 years in the game, having pulled so many legendaries, like there's still tons of legendaries out there that would move my account. But now I'm starting to get more and more duplicates. And so, my faction guardians are starting to fill up with legendaries at this point, which is kind of cool, I guess. but I still don't have a Kymar. I still don't have a Duchess. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, there's still champions out there I want. All right. So that's it. We'll have another shard pull video in a week because we've got a 2-time sacred shard event coming up. We both have sacred shards. We've been saving them for now. It's going to be 8 weeks because they skipped the sacred shards again. They keep messing with the sacred shard 2 times event. So hopefully in a week, we will actually get to pull sacred shards on our noob versus pro accounts.
Yeah, at this point, I'm kind of like, until it's confirmed,
yeah,
the hopes are not up.
Yeah, exactly. It's like we'll get to next weekend and it'll be like, guess what? It's 2 times primal shards this weekend. It's like, come on. I want to pull my sacreds. I want to pull my sacreds. But all right. So fun times today. Thanks for hanging out, son. Why don't you say goodbye to everybody?
Have a good one, everyone.
All right. Thanks so much. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and consider joining our Discord community. We will see you in another video soon.